what's up, family? God bless everyone on this Tuesday morning. Not going to take a lot of your time in this Bible study. It is just so extremely powerful because it's things that God is doing to free our mind even more. You can already see what God had us to share with you this morning about David strengthening himself in the Lord. 1 Samuel 30:6. Family, read that. I'm going to give that to you here in just a second, but read that. This is why I want you to catch this revelation as God has given it. When God calls you to a thing, when God designs a thing for you to do, God will give you the endurance. God will give you the grace and the mercy and the favor to run the race, to complete the task. But what happens in life, what you're going to experience, is the same thing that David is experiencing right here himself, to where this is dealing with Ziklag. And the people around him are beginning to murmur because of things that have happened, the events. But David, because they were wanting to stone him, this is why you need to know, even in your inner circle, this is why you have got to pray and be a watchman and a watchwoman. You keep hearing me say this a lot because sometimes people will turn in the middle of progress. I'm going to say that again. People will turn in the middle of progress of what God is doing, because watch this, God is giving you the vision. God has showed you what he's going to do to deliver you to your breakthrough. And what it is, when God is giving you this, what you got to understand is God is giving you these things and God is giving you vision. You do not release all of the vision at once, because a lot of people cannot handle the whole vision. But as God is giving the vision, you release it in stages that God is giving you, where people can digest it, people can handle it, and people can understand it, because you will have people that will rebel, people that just don't get it. But you do not have time to let that destroy the progress that God is giving you, what you have made. You have to strengthen yourself in the Lord. Remember me always saying this, sometimes it may seem that God is silent, but it does not mean that he is not there. He is always there. But here's the problem, family, my brothers and my sisters, to every father, every son, to every mother, to every daughter. Here's a problem. Too often, we keep setting people in position that only God has the permission and the position to be setting in the first place. We have to learn that you're going to have naysayers and you're going to have people. They're not going to totally understand everything that God is doing. You're going to hear this, but you cannot let this frustrate you, agitate you, or aggravate you. You have got to stay the course. You got to be who God has called you to be. God will give you the endurance and strengthen you even when you are standing alone, because sometimes in this journey, you're going to find yourself standing alone. This is just going to happen, and you can't worry about keep trying to explain every corner and every facet to appease people. You got to be who God called you to be. That's what you got to do. Here's some things that you just cannot do. Things that you just cannot do. You cannot forfeit. You cannot forfeit, meaning you cannot give up and go back and lose what God has done, and you cannot forfeit what God is getting ready to do. This is called standing your ground and standing where you have to be who God has called you to be. Because people have a funny thing of turning and murmuring against what they're seeing because they don't understand it. This is why you got to protect the vision. And number two, you have to be firm in your stance. Being firm in your stance means simply you're trusting God. You're just going to stand there. Encourage yourself in God. Encourage yourself in God. Encourage yourself. Sometimes this is what you're just going to have to do throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the months, throughout the year. You're going to have to encourage yourself, because God has called you to something. God is going to do something, just like he was blessing David and taking care of David. Even though people were wanting to stone him and begin to murmur against him, David encouraged himself in the Lord. I encourage you today that you're going to have to encourage yourself in the Lord. Stand there. Stand there. Like I was sharing with you earlier, and I'm done. We're going to pray and go. This is going to happen. Not only will seasons change around you, but so will some of the people in your life. Expect it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But you strengthen yourself in the Lord. People will come. People will go. But you encourage yourself and you strengthen yourself in the Lord. Family, that's it for this Tuesday. Encourage yourself today. If we don't get back with you today at 12:15 noon, we will most definitely pray together tonight. Just want to give you this to meditate on today. You have to encourage yourself in the Lord and stay true to the call of what God has called you to do. Whatever God has called you to do, he will encourage you himself and give you the strength to handle it. because God knows what he's doing. Family, we love you. Have a phenomenal Tuesday, and we'll talk to you again real soon. God bless you. We love you. Peace.